everyone, Steve from Stevivor here with a collectibles guide for the Seattle downtown area. Now, we have on our website a map that's going to be so much help to you. You can reference it from this screen right now, or you can head to our collectibles guide where you can just look at the map at all times. We have, for this particular area of the game, tried to pull up the map wherever possible to show you where we are. It's the only real open world kind of area of The Last of Us Part 2. The rest of the chapters are far more linear based, so bear with us as we go through the host of collectibles in this particular chapter. So we've shown where the chapter starts, but really it starts from here. It's Gate East 2, which overlooks the hotel that you can't get to. The very first artifact is in a little command tower or listening tower just in that area before you head into the open world proper. Now, the second artifact, we've gone straight to the bank to find this, and after clearing out some enemies, you'll find this artifact, which gives you the combination to the nearby safe, which we will also provide in just a second when we get to the safe itself.
Which one?
The one with the surfer bank robbers.
Oh, yeah. Love that movie.
Now that safe combination is directly beside the note. It's combination 602306. So if you input that, you'll be able to get into the safe. And there's a couple things in there to grab, including something that will unlock a trophy.
Got it.
Now, before we get that trophy, right ahead of you is an artifact, the bank robber's letter. So grab that alongside your first extra weapon, the shotgun.
Thanks, dude.
So we'll grab that first, obviously, the pump shotgun, I should say, and then we'll grab the letter just to the right of the corpse.
They tried robbing the bank on Outbreak Day.
Probably seemed smart at the time.
And in a nearby safety deposit box, you will find an antique ring, which will also unlock a trophy for you. So all this collectible hunting is not in vain. I think it's an Uncharted one? I'm not sure. If you know for certain, let me know. I think that's a reference to Uncharted. I wouldn't be surprised. Also, I'm not sure, so you can probably tell. Now, next we're going to go to an area that I've just kind of called rubble. There's a little messenger bag right here, and if you look through that, you will get an artifact.
We cleared this place out.
Now we've got at this truck, kind of near the hotel, but obviously still on the gated side, we have a truck with fascists, which is kind of timely, graffitied on the side of it. If you open up that truck, you will get an artifact inside.
Traveling in a ration truck?
Trying to hide, maybe?
Unsuccessfully.
Yeah, sure looks that way.
Now our first trading card is here. This is another piece of rubble, really. You just have to kind of climb up and shimmy over to get to it. This is the first of 5 trading cards that we can find in the downtown area.
hello.
Well, at least they died for something.
Now, next
wild.
is another artifact via messenger bag. It's
These
near
guys were
a
just assholes
tank,
killed by
which
other
we've marked
assholes.
on the map as well. So if you head to the tank and just look behind it, you'll be able to see this corpse with the letter from Isaac.
Kind of sad.
Now, next in the music store, you can play with a guitar and some drums and stuff, but we've skipped all that. You'll find your next trading card, which is just in a
Yo.
desk drawer. There's a command tower just outside the music store where you'll be able to get a couple things. The first is an artifact of a drawing of the nearby street, which is in this shelf right here.
Damn. That's pretty good.
Once you collect that, you already kind of saw the prompt, of course. But once you collect the street drawing, you'll be able to do the only... Or sorry, that's not true. The first of 2 journal entries. And this is just kind of sketching the same kind of drawing that you've just picked up, basically. So this is journal entry 1 of 2. And just around the corner from that, in an area that's like a checkpoint, you'll find the downtown's single solitary workbench, which is just on this kind of makeshift container crate thing. Now, nearby the music store, there's a little bit of a raised area where you can kind of overlook some stuff, which is what I'm showing right now. You'll find your next item, which is an artifact, just in the next, not here, in the messenger bag just beside, as we're finding a lot of artifacts in this level, in this chapter. Now our second safe is sitting within the Gate West 2, which is on the map. We have the code from a previous chapter, from the chapter called The Gate. That code is 0451. So once you get into this area, that's the code you'll need to access the contents within. And there are some very good contents, but we'll leave that for just a second. Now you can probably already see it there, but in the safe, of course, is our next trading card. It's number 3 of a total of 5 in the downtown area. Now, next in the coffee shop, we'll bring up the map in a second. If you go to the back and inside the bathroom area, there's a little bit of a battle to undergo, but then once you've come out of that, you'll get the key at the end of the room. It's for a place called Barco's, which is a pet store, which is also a place we've highlighted on the map. Here's the map reference in case you're not sure of where the coffee shop is, and we're also just kind of walking out to show you what the coffee shop looks like, but it's pretty obvious. From the coffee shop, there's a couple things to pick up. The next thing is another trading card, so you'll find it in a nearby shelf, which is right here. And the last thing in the coffee shop is another artifact Just another reference for you. I was very map heavy. There's an artifact just kind of at the end of the counter nearest to the entrance. Now, with the Barco's key in hand, you can head to near 6th Avenue and get to the Barco's entrance. It's kind of like a side entrance, which just opens that door. There's a bunch of stuff to find in here. The first thing is a document, which we've just picked up near the entrance. And you'll also be able to pick up an item and a recipe to create more items. We'll get to that in just a second. Don't need this whiteboard. It was just for some narrative flavor. The recipe item is here. Good old stun bomb. And in the area just behind that, you will find a piece of gear. Now next, just beside the synagogue, in a tower, before you actually go in, you will find a document in a nearby kind of guard tower. Now, in the synagogue, one of the two main actual story-driven points of this chapter, you'll find a couple things. We were looking around at all of the different Jewish items that were being pointed out. There's a document in the rabbi's desk, but as we were inspecting that and kind of going through our normal, here's the map, here's the document name kind of thing, we had a journal item unlock, and I'm not exactly sure how it happened. I have to say, inspect all the things you can. You're prompted to talk with Dina a couple times as well, so I would just go and do all of those things. Hopefully the journal entry unlocks for you as well. And just to kind of drive the point home, this was the nearby piece of Jewish calendar item, in addition to the Torah, in addition to the stuff downstairs that we had been interacting with to theoretically get this journal entry.
Oof.
Now, with the synagogue complete, the only area left is the courthouse. You should get a trophy for getting all of the locations in the downtown area. And as you're kind of going through the area, you'll find this next artifact on a corpse.
Brought it on yourself, I guess.
Now, yes, still in the courthouse. The rest of these things are going to be in the courthouse. There is a little area here which you can break a window to get into. There's a ton of stuff in this room. The first thing nearby on the shelf is a training manual for the survival branch of Ellie's skills. In the same room, of course, you will find in the back an artifact just in the filing cabinet.
What's that?
Old to-do list.
You'll also see on the screen already the combination to the nearby safe, which is 860722. So that's just in that kind of area with the desk and the windows that you broke through.
What now?
And in the same room, right where that actual safe code was, there was a weapon kind of pinning this corpse to the wall. If you pull out the weapon, which we didn't have time to record because it was kind of spontaneous, the corpse will drop your second last artifact
FEDRA
for
or
this chapter.
They were losing to the WLF and trying to...
Now, once you progress through into the hotel itself, you'll find on an upper level in this room in the drawer your final artifact for the chapter. And directly behind that, in a shelf beside the bed, or between the beds, I should say, you'll find your last trading card. This was a big one. We'll see you next in Eastbrook Elementary.